Dybantsa, spinning on obvious, all the way to the basket!
Right pass.
Quick first step, reverse dunk, he still does it.
Between Maxey and... guess who won?
The NBA draft is always an exciting time. It brings a massive wave of hope to teams looking for that next big difference maker. This year's class is absolutely loaded with high-end talent that could completely turn a franchise around. But let's be real, no prospect is totally perfect, and it's super important to look at both the good and the bad parts of their games. Real quick, guys, if you want to stay ahead of everything happening around the league this season, make sure to tap that subscribe button and drop a like on this video so you never miss an upload. Let's get into it. Today, we're going to dive into the top prospects in this class and highlight the biggest red flags or issues for each of them. To be clear, these weaknesses definitely don't mean these guys will be busts, but they are absolutely things we need to keep an eye on. Let's get into it. Cameron Boozer. For Cameron Boozer, the primary concern revolves around his heavy reliance on bully ball. The big question is how well this will translate to the NBA. At Duke, Boozer easily overpowered defenders, carved out deep positioning in the post, and absorbed contact to score without needing crazy vertical leaps or explosive speed. But will that work in the pros? In the NBA, he won't just be backing down smaller college players. He'll be up against longer, stronger, and much faster professionals. Scouts wonder if he'll be able to create enough space or finish effectively over elite rim protectors. Since he isn't seen as a high-flying athlete, there are doubts about whether a below-the-rim, power-based scorer can truly be a #1 option at the next level. Plus, if he struggles to protect the rim or move laterally on defense, the pressure on his offensive game will be even higher. A.D. Mara. When it comes to A.D. Mara, the glaring issue is his overall lack of mobility and athleticism. Mara is absolutely massive, standing 7 feet 3 inches with an enormous wingspan, tying for the second longest standing reach in draft combine history. While that size makes him an incredible natural rim protector, he simply isn't a quick or explosive athlete. He has good coordination for his height, but he struggles to change direction, open his hips, and cover ground quickly. This raises massive red flags for how he'll handle NBA pick-and-roll coverages, defensive switches, and fast breaks. Modern NBA offenses force big men to defend out in space constantly. While Mara thrives in drop coverage, where his length does the heavy lifting, he gets exposed when pulled out to the perimeter. Testing near the bottom in almost every agility and speed drill at the combine definitely makes you wonder about his NBA translation. Caleb Wilson's biggest hurdle right now is his perimeter shooting. During his freshman year at North Carolina, he shot just under 26% from beyond the arc on very low volume. Because of the limited attempts and inconsistent accuracy, most defenses treat him like a non-shooter from NBA range. His free throw shooting, hovering around 71%, does offer a glimmer of hope that his touch isn't entirely broken, but it's not enough to silence the doubters. The good news is that his shooting mechanics aren't considered completely ruined. It's more of a consistency issue. His base, rhythm, and lower body sway from shot to shot. This is a huge deal because Wilson shines most when he's slashing to the basket, running the floor in transition, and making athletic plays. If NBA defenders don't respect his outside shot, they'll just sag off and clog the driving lanes, making it incredibly tough for him to operate. A.J. Dybantsa. A.J. Dybantsa is an incredibly gifted scorer, but his biggest flaw is a severe case of tunnel vision. When he gets into a bucket-getting mindset, he can completely miss what's happening around him. As a large wing with great burst, an advanced handle, and the ability to hit tough shots, he often leans on his own scoring arsenal rather than looking for an open teammate. This leads to forced drives, over-dribbling, and taking heavily contested shots in traffic. It's really more of a processing issue than an inability to pass. Often, the passing lane is there, but he either sees it too late, misses the weak side help defender, or has already made up his mind to shoot. He definitely has the skill to make high-level passes, but his default mentality often prevents him from looking for them. Jakob Lenderberg. For Jakob Lenderberg, the main hesitation is his ability to create his own shot. While he is a highly productive and skilled forward, he doesn't project as a guy who can consistently break down set NBA defenses or score in pure isolation. He shines when attacking existing advantages rather than generating them from scratch. Most of his scoring comes from smart cuts, transition buckets, offensive putbacks, and straight-line drives, rather than crossing up a defender and hitting a pull-up jumper. At 6 feet 9 inches, his handle is solid, but it just isn't dynamic enough to create reliable separation on the perimeter against elite defenders. Teams looking at him in the top 10 know they aren't necessarily drafting a primary offensive star, but rather a player with an incredibly high floor who projects as an elite role player. Darryn Peterson. With Darryn Peterson, the conversation unfortunately revolves around his underlying health concerns. His freshman year at Kansas was heavily disrupted by severe, recurring cramping that frequently took him out of games. Peterson later revealed this was linked to taking high doses of creatine, which pushed his already naturally high baseline levels into a dangerous zone. The scariest incident happened during a preseason camp where his full-body cramps were so intense he had to be rushed to the hospital. On top of the cramping, he also battled various hamstring, ankle, and quad injuries throughout the year. All in all, these issues cost him 11 full games and severely limited his minutes in several others. While Peterson says he has everything figured out and under control now, NBA teams will definitely need to see it to believe it, as these lingering health problems could easily derail his immense potential. Kingston Fleming's. Kingston Fleming's biggest red flag is his slight physical frame. It's not necessarily that he's too short to play in the league, but his measurements leave him very little room for error. Coming in at roughly 6 feet 2 inches barefoot and 183 pounds, his wingspan is only 6 feet 3 inches, which is unusually short for a player his size. Because his entire game revolves around blazing speed, aggressive slashing, and on-ball defense, this lack of size is a real concern. Scouts worry that his light frame and short reach will make it difficult for him to finish through contact against massive NBA rim protectors or consistently draw fouls, which was already an issue in college. Defensively, while he has great instincts and quick hands, his lack of length limits how disruptive he can be when fighting over screens or getting caught on switches. He'll need to bulk up significantly to maximize his finishing and defensive versatility. Darius Akuf. For Darius Akuf, the major warning sign is his defense, which frankly has been pretty terrible. The problem isn't just about his size, it's a glaring lack of consistency, awareness, and overall effort. At 6 feet 3 inches, he's already at a physical disadvantage against larger NBA guards, meaning he needs perfect technique and a high motor to survive. Unfortunately, the tape shows him regularly dying on screens, getting blown by at the point of attack, and completely losing his man off the ball. He tends to stand straight up, ball watch, and react late, giving up easy backdoor cuts. The most frustrating part? He actually has a solid frame, decent length, and enough athleticism that he shouldn't be a defensive liability. It's primarily an issue of discipline and motor. Until he proves he can stay locked in and navigate defensive coverages consistently, NBA teams will relentlessly target and hunt him on switches. Caton Wagler. Finally, we have Caton Wagler, whose primary weakness lies in his overall physical tools. Wagler is a highly skilled player who wins using craftiness, great pacing, and soft touch, rather than brute force or explosive leaping. Listed at 6 feet 5 inches but weighing only 188 pounds, he lacks the true burst needed to easily separate from defenders or finish strong through contact. He isn't going to blow past guys or play above the rim, which raises valid questions about how his offensive game will translate against bigger, faster NBA athletes. While he isn't unplayable by any means, he relies beautifully on elite footwork and deceleration. His thin frame is definitely a worry on the defensive end. Scouts are concerned about his ability to fight through screens and hold his ground when stronger wings inevitably try to back him down. And there you have it. Those are the biggest areas of concern for this year's top draft prospects. Like I said, none of these flaws mean these guys can't be great pros, but they give us a realistic look at what they need to work on. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below letting me know what you think about these players' weaknesses. Catch you all in the next one.